Good day, dear viewers. Today we will dive into the world of Stoic philosophy and reveal the secrets of 10 things that should never be accepted from anyone. These things may seem insignificant at first glance, but in reality, they are capable of seriously affecting your life, disturbing your inner peace, and hindering your path to true happiness. The goal of this video is to give you a clear understanding of why these 10 things should never have a place in your life, and how rejecting them can help you achieve true inner peace and harmony. Prepare yourself for a journey that could radically change your perception and open new horizons for personal growth. Dear viewers, subscribe to our YouTube channel and join the community of those who strive to live consciously and in balance. Now, let's begin. The first obstacle we will discuss is other people's expectations. Each of us has deep desires and our own dreams that define our true essence. But often, among these inner worlds, external influences begin to emerge. Expectations from parents, friends, colleagues, and society. We start living not our own life, but the life others expect from us. Other people's expectations can become a major source of stress and dissatisfaction. When we try to meet the standards imposed on us, we move further away from our true selves. As a result, instead of following a path that brings us joy, we chase other people's dreams and ambitions. Stoic philosophers advise us to free ourselves from this pressure. They teach us that our happiness and peace should not depend on external factors. It is important to focus on our own values and desires, which determine our path. By rejecting imposed expectations, we give ourselves the opportunity to live a true and happy life. We should learn to distinguish what is truly important for our development from what is just an attempt to fit into someone else's standards. This will allow us to be more focused on our own goals and achievements, not on what others want from us. One way to overcome this influence is through constant self-observation and reflection. Self-observation helps to notice those moments when you yield to external pressure. Instead of automatically reacting to other people's demands and expectations, you can take a pause and ask yourself, is this really what I want? This pause not only allows you to feel the freedom of choice, but also brings you closer to a happier life. It is also important to develop the ability to say no to things that do not contribute to your development, even if they seem socially acceptable or approved by others. This refusal can be difficult because sometimes it leads to disappointment from those you respect or love, but it is a crucial step on the path to personal freedom. Stoicism also emphasizes that it is important not to be afraid of being different or going against commonly accepted norms. Your own values and inner beliefs should guide you in life, not the opinions and judgments of others. As Epictetus said, what others think of you is their business, not yours. You cannot control other people's thoughts, but you can control your reactions to those thoughts. When we stop allowing others to control our lives, we open up many possibilities. We begin to live, not in fear of judgment or dissatisfaction from others, but in harmony with ourselves. This doesn't mean ignoring the advice or opinions of people around us, but it's important to always remember that the final choice is always yours. Therefore, learn to prioritize your inner goals, seek to understand yourself better, and act in accordance with your beliefs. Only by doing so can you achieve true freedom and inner peace, which Stoics considered the highest goods in human life. In conclusion, remember, your life and happiness should be based on your own beliefs and desires. By freeing yourself from external limitations, you will be able to find true freedom and inner peace. The second obstacle we will look at today is the imposed feeling of guilt. Often, we allow others to manipulate us through guilt. Imagine a situation where you decided to change your job for the sake of your development, but your boss reminds you of how much the company invested in you and accuses you of betrayal. Or a friend who complains that you don't pay enough attention to them, even though you're busy with important matters. Stoicism calls us to inner independence and tranquility, which do not depend on the opinions or expectations of others. It is important to remember that guilt is a tool used by those who want to control you. Your actions, decisions, and path should be based on reason and principles, not on emotions artificially imposed upon you. As Marcus Aurelius said, "People have power over you only when you give it to them." If you are confident in your decision and know that it leads to your internal growth and development, no external influence can overshadow your mind. Imposed guilt is an attempt to undermine your confidence. You should not justify your decisions to others if those decisions align with your life principles. Stoicism helps you stay true to yourself despite any manipulation and allows you to walk your path with a clear mind and a clean conscience. Each of us is responsible only for our thoughts, actions, and emotions. Rejecting the burden of someone else's guilt is the first step towards freedom and true tranquility. Imposed guilt can become an invisible chain that restrains our freedom and inner harmony. Stoicism reminds us of the importance of separating our own emotions and decisions from external influence. The external world is constantly changing, and the people we encounter may have their own interests or fears, which they unconsciously try to impose on us through guilt. But this should not concern you. Your goal is to live according to your inner values and not let external manipulations ruin your peace. Epictetus taught that we can control only our thoughts, emotions, and reactions. Everything else is beyond our control. Therefore, if someone tries to make you feel guilty for making a choice that benefits your development or well-being, stop and ask yourself, is this really my responsibility? Does it depend on me? If the answer is no, then your soul should remain unshaken. You should not let other people's emotions invade your inner world and undermine your peace. Learn not only to defend yourself against guilt, but also to transform this feeling. If you feel it, use the moment for self-reflection. Do your actions truly contradict your principles? If not, then there is no reason to succumb to this emotion. And in the end, remember, everyone is responsible for their own feelings. You are not responsible for how others perceive your actions, but you are responsible for being true to yourself and your values. So, when someone next tries to make you feel guilty for choosing your own path, remember the Stoic wisdom. You are the one who controls your life and are only accountable to yourself. Manipulations and others' expectations are a storm from the outside, but your inner sea must remain calm. The third obstacle we will consider today is the negative emotions of others. Often, we become prisoners of other people's emotions, allowing them to influence our mood, decisions, and actions. Stoicism teaches us that we cannot control how others behave or what they feel, but we can control our reaction to these emotions. If someone around us is angry, upset, or even sad, we must maintain our inner calm and not let these emotions destroy our balance. Marcus Aurelius emphasized that we should not allow the moods and reactions of others to take away our inner peace. If someone is angry or upset, it only reflects their inner state, and you are not obligated to carry that burden or react to their emotions as if they belong to you. Stoics believe that we always have a choice, whether to succumb to external negativity or remain steadfast and maintain our emotional balance. Stoicism calls us not to let the external world interfere with our inner space. When we react to someone else's anger or sadness, we are essentially handing over control of ourselves to others. This means that we are allowing them to dictate how we feel, even if it is completely contrary to our life principles. Stoics teach us to remain independent of external circumstances and to maintain control over our emotions, regardless of what is happening around us. Negative emotions from others can be a significant challenge, but it is precisely in these moments that we have the opportunity to practice our resilience. Marcus Aurelius once said, "When you are offended, ask yourself, does this depend on me or on the other person? If the emotions of another person do not depend on you, then the responsibility for them does not lie with you. Therefore, it is unnecessary to transfer their negativity into your own internal world. Practice discernment and self-control when facing others' negativity. Instead of immediately reacting to emotions with emotions, pause and analyze the situation. Do these emotions really need to affect your life? Would it not be better to stay true to your values and preserve your inner peace? Remember, your mood and your state are your own responsibility, and no one can influence you if you do not allow them to. One of the most important Stoic practices is to separate your emotions from those of others. You are not their reflection. You are an independent person capable of managing your inner world. This is one of the greatest forms of freedom you can achieve. When you learn not to succumb to the negative emotions of others, you will experience true freedom and peace. This will allow you to maintain inner balance even when chaos surrounds you. Remember, your calm response to external difficulties is a manifestation of your inner strength and wisdom. Stay true to your principles, control your emotions, and do not allow external negativity to disrupt your inner peace. In the end, only you hold the key to your happiness and harmony. The fourth obstacle we will discuss is manipulation. Manipulation is another form of influence that we should never accept. People often try to use our fears, emotions, or weaknesses for their own benefit. This can be a colleague who shifts their responsibilities onto you, or a partner who uses emotional blackmail to control your actions. Manipulations can be subtle and inconspicuous, but their goal is always the same: to take away our freedom of choice and force us to act against our will. Stoicism reminds us that the most valuable thing we have is our health and our ability to make decisions based on our own principles and understanding. Stoics taught that manipulations affect those who allow others to control them due to their own insecurities or dependency on external approval. If you are confident in your decisions and know what you want, manipulations will lose their power over you. Therefore, it is crucial to develop self-awareness and critical thinking to recognize attempts to control your actions or emotions. Epictetus said, "We cannot change others, but we can change our attitude toward them." If you see that someone is trying to use you, instead of reacting to their manipulation, focus on what depends on you. Remain firm in your decisions and do not allow external circumstances or people to disturb your equilibrium. Learn to say no when necessary and make choices that align with your values, not others' expectations. The key to resisting manipulations is to maintain inner clarity. If you have clear goals and know your priorities, manipulations will lose their power over you. Remember that you own your time, energy, and decisions. No one can control you if you do not allow them to. Only your ability to stay true to yourself guarantees that no manipulation will disturb your peace and resilience. So, the next time someone tries to exploit your emotions or weaknesses, remember this philosophy. Your life is your choice, and no manipulation has power over you if you remain true to yourself. You are the captain of your own ship, and only you decide where to steer it. The fifth obstacle we will talk about is the grudges and vengefulness of others. Sometimes our actions can upset someone, even if we did not intend to. The problem arises when people harbor grudges against us or even plan to seek revenge. Stoicism teaches us not to take on other people's grudges or vengefulness. Often, other people's negative emotions reflect their own internal problems, not our fault. Stoicism reminds us that we cannot control other people's reactions, but we can control our attitude toward them. If someone is offended or holding a grudge, this speaks more about their inner world and their unresolved emotions than about our actions. It is important to understand that other people's grudges should not become our burden. Let others stay with their feelings while you continue to act according to your principles and inner peace. Marcus Aurelius emphasized that people often act not out of malice, but out of ignorance or misunderstanding of the situation. When we face a grudge or vengefulness, Stoic wisdom urges us to first look at the situation from a distance. Did our actions truly cause offense? Or is it just someone's emotional outburst, triggered by their own expectations or fears? If we can honestly say that we acted in line with our values and had no intention of causing harm, then other people's grudges should not disturb us. Epictetus said that we should not allow other people's actions or words to influence our inner world. Grudges and vengeance are just shadows passing by. If we remain calm and do not let them settle in our consciousness, they cannot harm us. Therefore, we should not waste energy defending ourselves from other people's negative emotions. Replace your reaction to grudges with compassion and an understanding that people who carry vengefulness within them are themselves prisoners of it. True strength lies in not allowing grudges to fill your mind. If you remain calm and act wisely, even in the most stressful situations, other people's vengefulness will not affect you. As a Stoic, you must remain steadfast, not allowing other people's negative emotions to become your burden. Stoics taught that the response to someone else's grudge is not revenge, but indifference to it. Instead of allowing vengefulness to affect your peace, you can choose the path of generosity and inner freedom. When you do not react to provocations, you demonstrate strength of spirit and wisdom. Remember, other people's grudges and vengefulness are their choice, not your responsibility. Your task is not to let their negative emotions ruin your inner harmony. As Seneca said, grudges cannot hurt us if we do not give them that power. Instead of responding with evil for evil, be an example of wisdom and self-control. Stoicism calls us to let go of what we cannot change and focus on what depends on us. In this way, you become unshakable in the face of other people's hostility and grudges. You choose to live in harmony with yourself, not allowing external circumstances to affect your inner world. This is the true freedom that Stoic philosophy gives, freedom from other people's emotions and feeling. The sixth obstacle we will discuss today is the imposed sense of duty toward others. Often in life, we find ourselves in situations where we feel we must do something for others simply because we have been made to feel guilty or responsible for them. This might come from relatives who expect you to sacrifice your time and resources, or from colleagues who shift their work onto you because they know you cannot refuse. Stoicism teaches us to distinguish between true duties and imposed expectations. True duty arises from our own values and aspirations, while imposed duty is a burden that only brings exhaustion and frustration. Marcus Aurelius emphasized that we should live in accordance with our own principles, not become prisoners of others' demands. Often we confuse helping with a duty. However, helping should come from the heart, not under pressure. If you constantly sacrifice your desires and needs for others, this can lead to emotional exhaustion. Stoics taught us to maintain balance, help when it is truly needed, but also take care of our own boundaries and resources. We cannot do for others what contradicts our own principles and goals. Epictetus said, "Care for what is in your control and do not allow others to interfere with what belongs only to you." If you feel that an imposed sense of duty is beginning to control your life, stop and analyze. Is this truly your responsibility? Is it aligned with your needs and aspirations? Should you take this step, or is it just an imposed requirement? Imposed duty can limit your freedom and drain the energy that could be used for your own growth and achieving important goals. True wisdom lies in maintaining your boundaries and staying true to yourself, not allowing others to dictate what you should do. Seneca taught that a person must choose their obligations with wisdom, not under the pressure of external circumstances or emotions. If you allow others to manipulate your sense of duty, you risk losing yourself in a never-ending cycle of others' demands and unmet expectations. It is important to learn to say no when necessary and leave time for what truly matters to you. As a Stoic, you must learn to distinguish imposed duties from those that you consciously choose and which align with your values. Your responsibility to yourself and your moral principles is paramount. Others' expectations can be endless, but your freedom and inner peace are what you should protect above all else. The Stoic path is about not allowing external duties to pressure you and guide your life. Only you have the power over your choices. The eighth obstacle we will talk about is unsolicited advice. In life, we often encounter people who want to give us advice, even if they lack the necessary experience or understanding of our situation. Sometimes this advice can be sincere, sometimes imposed, or even completely oblivious to our true needs and goals. It is important to distinguish between helpful recommendations and those that only distract you from your path. Stoicism teaches us to filter the information we receive from others. As Epictetus said, we should pay attention not to what others think or say, but to what is true for ourselves. Success does not come from blindly listening to others, but from critically analyzing the advice we receive and determining which parts are truly helpful. If you follow someone else's advice without considering whether it suits you, you risk losing your individuality and direction in life. Seneca pointed out that each of us has our own destiny, and this destiny is unique. Others' vision of life may not align with yours at all. Therefore, it is important not to allow outside advice to derail you from your path. Before accepting any advice, ask yourself, does this help me move forward? Is it based on genuine experience and understanding of my circumstances? Or is it merely superficial judgment? As a Stoic, you should be cautious and not allow imposed thoughts to influence your decisions. It's not necessary to reject all advice, but you should always remember that the final decision rests with you. Stoicism calls us to maintain independence of thought and understand that no one knows your path better than you do. The ninth obstacle we will talk about is other people's ideas of success. We often encounter social standards and expectations that define what success is. These ideas might be imposed by the media, family, or society as a whole. They often include material wealth, status, or recognition, and can push us to compare ourselves with others, which in turn can distract us from our true goals. Stoicism teaches us that true success is not measured by external achievements or social status, but by inner peace and alignment with our values. As Marcus Aurelius said, true wealth lies in being content with what you have and remaining resilient in the face of adversity. Success, according to Stoic understanding, is not what others try to impose on you, but what you define for yourself. Others' ideas of success can be tempting, but they are often merely a reflection of culture or social norms, not your personal aspirations. It is important not to succumb to the pressure of social expectations and not allow external standards to define your self-worth. As a Stoic, you should learn to distinguish what truly matters to you and follow your own definition of success. This might mean rejecting traditional ideas of success, such as material wealth or social status, in favor of deeper personal values such as integrity, inner peace, and personal growth. Remember, true success is defined by how satisfied you are with your life and whether you are living in accordance with your inner convictions. Do not allow others' ideas of success to distract you from your own path. Your success is your personal achievement, and it should be defined by your own standards, not external criteria. The 10th obstacle we will discuss is external pressure on your life path. In our lives, there is often external pressure that tries to push us in a certain direction. Family, friends, or society may try to impose their ideas of how we should live. However, only you know which path is right for you. Sometimes, these expectations can be directly opposed to your own desires and aspirations. When you feel pressure to choose a certain life path, it can be difficult, especially if that path does not align with your true values and beliefs. Stoicism teaches us to stay true to ourselves despite external influences and pressure. As Epictetus noted, it is important to maintain inner independence and not allow external circumstances or the thoughts of others to define our decisions. The choice of life path is a personal decision that should be made based on your own values, desires, and beliefs, not under the pressure of social expectations or demands. The pressure to choose a life path can be very strong and intrusive, but it is important to remember that your path is your own journey. You have the right to choose what truly brings you joy and aligns with your inner convictions.